You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Thursday, August the 6th, 2020. The Red Sox and Orioles played each other in an AL East matchup, but the Red Sox won this game handedly, 13-2 the final score. The Red Sox also doubled the amount of hits the Orioles had. The Red Sox 18 as compared to the Orioles 9. Marcus Walden got the win, and Wade LeBlanc got the loss, his 9th loss of the season. The Athletics and Yankees played each other, and the Yankees got beat pretty badly. 8-0 the final score of this game. The Athletics shut out the Yankees. Frankie Montas got the win, and Clark Schmidt got the loss, his first of his Major League career. The Twins and Royals played each other in an AL Central matchup, 3-1. The final score, the Twins won. The Twins, the number 1 team in the AL Central, and the Royals, the last place team in the AL Central. Scott Alexander got the win out of the bullpen, his 5th of the year. Jesse Hahn got the loss, and Tyler Duffy earned the save, his 17th of the season. The Blue Jays and Astros played each other, 2 teams that are fighting for an American League wildcard spot right now, and the Blue Jays won this game by a run. It was close, 10-9 the final score. Both teams had at least one breakout inning. The Blue Jays broke out with 5 runs in the top of the 5th inning, while the Astros responded with a 4-run bottom of the 5th, and then they proceeded to score 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they scored a run in the 9th to make it a 1-run game, but they failed to tie it and ended up losing at home. Trent Thornton got the win, Jose Urquidy got the loss, and Ken Giles earned his 29th save of the season, and he also got the save against one of his former teams. The Tigers and Rangers played each other in a close game. 6-5 was the final score. The Rangers came out on top, though the Tigers made it a game in the top of the 9th inning. They scored 4 runs to make it a 1-run game, and they evened out the hit totals. The Tigers got 9 hits, as did the Rangers, but the Tigers still fell short by a run. The Rangers ended up winning. Kyle Gibson got the win, Jordan Zimmerman got the loss, and Brent Martin earned his first save of the season. The Angels and Mariners played each other in an AL West matchup. The final score of this game was also 6-5, and the Mariners were able to win it. The Angels tied the game in the top of the 9th inning. It was 5-5, but then the Mariners walked it off immediately next half inning. They won in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they beat one of their division rivals. Carl Edwards Jr. got the win, and Ryan Butcher got the loss. The Nationals and Marlins played each other in an NL East matchup. Final score of this game, 8-1. The Nationals came out on top. Nate Pearson got his 2nd Major League win, and Yanni Chirinos now 5-9 after getting the loss. That was one of his first starts since being traded from the Rays to the Marlins. The Reds and Phillies played each other. Close game, 4-3 the final score. The Reds got all 4 of their runs in the top of the 3rd inning, and those runs held up. The Phillies were chipping away. They got a run in the 3rd, a run in the 6th, and a run in the 8th inning, but they never tied the game in this one, and they lost as a result. Anthony DeSclafani got the win, Zach Eflin got the loss, and Raisel Iglesias now has 22 saves on the season. The Braves beat the Cubs 6-1, the final score of this game. The Cubs got their first and only run in the bottom of the 1st inning, but then the Braves first scored in the 4th inning, but they got 3 runs to take the lead. That was a lead that they did not relinquish past that point. They also got a run in the 6th and 2 runs in the 7th inning. Max Fried got the win, and Jose Quintana got the loss. The Mets and Dodgers played each other. This was a game that the Mets ended up winning. The Mets are last in the NL East, and the Dodgers are first with the 2nd best record in baseball, but first in the NL West. But the Mets, as the underdogs, came out victorious in this game, and by a large margin. It was 3-0 going into the 4th inning, but then the Mets put up 5 runs to break the game open. They also put up 2 in the 9th inning just to extend their lead, and they won by 10. Brad Brach got the win, and David Price got the loss. And the Pirates beat the Diamondbacks 7-6 was the final score of this game. The Diamondbacks made it a game late while the Pirates were keeping pace. The Diamondbacks scored 2 in the top of the 9th inning to make it a 1-run game, but they failed to reach 7, and they ended up losing as a result. Cody Ponce got the win, Luke Weaver got the loss, and Keone Kela now has 23 saves on the season. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees still leading. They're 72-43, though they lost today to the Athletics. They've also won 8 of their last 10 games. The Blue Jays are 62-54. They won today. They're 10.5 games back of the Yankees. The Rays are 58-56. They still have a winning percentage over 500, and they've also won their last 3 games. They're 13.5 games back of first. The Red Sox also over 500. They're 58 and 57, 14 games back of first place, and they've won their last 3 games. And the Orioles are still in last place. They lost their last 3 games. 44 and 71 is their overall record, and they're 28 games back of first place. And their division elimination number is at 20. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins, the first team in baseball this year to 80 wins. They're 80 and 37. They still lead this division. The White Sox are on a 3-game losing streak. They're 65 and 50. They're 14 games back. The Indians 62 and 53. They're 17 games back. The Tigers 50 and 66, 29 and a half games back of first place. And the Kansas City Royals not quite at 40 wins yet. They're 39 and 76, 40 games back of first place, and their division elimination number is now at 7 games. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics reached 70 wins today. They beat the Yankees. They're 70 and 45, still in first in this division, and they're also on a 3-game winning streak. The Houston Astros, 65 and 49, 4.5 games back of first place. They're still in contention. You'll see in the wildcard standings that they're still one of the top teams. The Angels are 52 and 64, 18.5 games back of first. The Rangers, 48 and 68, 22.5 games back of first. And the Mariners, 47 and 69, 23.5 games back of first. Here are the wildcard standings in the American League. The Astros have the top spot right now. They're 65 and 49. They lost today. The White Sox also lost their most recent game, and they're on a 3-game losing streak. They're 65 and 50, a half game back of that first wildcard spot. The Indians also lost their most recent game. They're still hanging around, though, with a 62 and 53 record. They're 3 games back. The Blue Jays got cold recently, but they ended up winning their most recent game. They're 62 and 54, 3.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. The Rays still close, or they're getting closer. 58 and 56 is their overall record. They're 6.5 games back, and they're on a 3-game winning streak, as are the Red Sox, who have a winning percentage over 500 as well. And the Red Sox still lingering, though they're a significant amount of games away. 58 and 57 is their overall record. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 13.5 games back of first place. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals and the Atlanta Braves still tied for the top spot. The Braves are the hotter team of the two, though. The Braves on an 8-game winning streak. The Nationals are on a 2-game winning streak, but they had the division lead before, so they're trying to catch up and reclaim a definitive division lead. The Marlins hanging around, too, though they've lost their 2 most recent games. 62 and 54 is their overall record, and they're 3 games back of the Nats and Braves. The Phillies are 56 and 60 in 4th place, 9 games back of first. And the Mets are in last. 51 and 64 is their record. They're 13.5 games back. They've also lost 7 of their last 10 games. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals still lead. They're 65 and 51, though they're in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. But they're not hurt because the Cubs are also on a losing streak of their own. They're on a 4-game losing streak. 60 and 56 is their overall record, and they're 5 games back of the Cardinals. The Brewers have won 3 in a row, though they've lost 7 of their last 10. They're 52 and 62, 12 games back of first place. The Reds, not quite at 50 wins yet. 48 and 67 is their overall record. They're 16.5 games back. And the Pirates are 43 and 72, 21.5 games back of first place. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers still have the second best record in baseball. 77 and 40 is their record, though they lost their most recent game. The Padres, 62 and 54, still in second, 14.5 games back of first. The Diamondbacks, 60 and 55, 16 games back. The Diamondbacks lost to the Pirates today. The Rockies are 49 and 66. They're on a 4-game winning streak, though. 1 win away from 50. 27 games back of the division lead. And the Giants still in last. They've lost 3 in a row. They're 44 and 70. 31.5 games back in first place. And their elimination number for the division is 16. And in the National League wildcard standings, right now the Braves and Nationals, who are tied for the NL East lead, also qualify for the wildcard lead. And they both qualify right now to be the top team. And there's a tie for the second wildcard spot. The Marlins and Padres both have 62 and 54 records. They both qualify for the second spot. Then you have the Diamondbacks, who are still close. They're 60 and 55, 1.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. The Cubs still around as well. They're on a 4-game losing streak. 60 and 56 is their overall record. Still 2 games back of that second wildcard spot. And every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 6 games back of that second wildcard spot. Let's take a look at league leaders, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera has the highest. He has a .346 average. Miguel Andujar second highest at a .340, and JD Martinez third highest at a .331. In the National League, Nolan Arenado leads with a .346, and ever so slightly lower than Arenado's is Ronald Acuna Jr., who has a .346 as well, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top three with a .343. Hits leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar has the most with 160. Five behind him, Miguel Cabrera, who has 155, and JD Martinez third best with 154. And in the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 161. Ronald Acuna Jr. has the second most with 148, and Nolan Arenado third most with 147. And bat leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar has the most with 471, and in the National League, Jonathan Villar has the most with 485. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon, the leader with 39, one behind him, Jose Abreu, who has 38, one behind Abreu is Miguel Andujar, who has 37. And in the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 48, 11 behind him, Christian Yelich, who has 37, and Juan Soto has the third most with 32. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 8, Jose Altuve and Adam Eaton tied with the second most, and they're both at 6. In the National League, Jonathan Villar is the most with 13. Victor Robles second most triples with 8. Hunter Pence and Andrew McCutchen tied for third best with 7. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton has the most still. He has 39. Yohan Moncada, Chris Davis, and Nelson Cruz tied for the second most homers, 32. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. up to 42. He set a new single-season high for himself in his career. Paul Goldschmidt has the second most homers in the National League with 38, and Eugenio Suarez rounds off the top three with 32. RBI leaders in the American League, Chris Davis and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. each tied for the league lead. They're at 93. Miguel Andujar and Mitch Moreland tied with the third most RBIs, 88. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt still at 100, 11 behind him, Eugenio Suarez, who has 89, and Ronald Acuna Jr. rounds out the top three with 88. Runs scored leaders in the American League, JD Martinez has the most with 87, and in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the most with 95. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Malik Smith has the most with 27, Adalberto Mondesi second most with 25, and D. Gordon third most with 23. In the National League, Trey Turner and Starling Marte each tied for the league lead. They're both at 39, and Jonathan Villar is third best with 31. Walks leaders in the American League, there are two tied for the top, Brees Hoskins and Shin-Soo Choo. They both have 72. And in the National League, Paul Goldschmidt the leader with 79. On base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the highest at a .420, Josh Bell second highest at a .409, and Josh Donaldson third highest at a .405. In the National League, Christian Yelich leads with a .442, Paul Goldschmidt second best with a .437, and Ronald Acuna Jr. third best with a .425. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada has the highest with a .628, Justin Upton second highest, 1 point behind Moncada with a .627, and Josh Bell third best with a .618. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. at a .741, Paul Goldschmidt's at a .675, and Christian Yelich is at a .666. On base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Josh Bell is the highest at a .027, Justin Upton second best at a .009, and Yohan Moncada third best at a .008. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a .166, Paul Goldschmidt second best with a .113, and Christian Yelich third best with a .117. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League. Jordan Montgomery and Lucas Giolito each have the most wins in the AL, 13. Zach Greinke, Hyunjin Ryu, Kenta Maeda, Jake Odorizzi, they're all tied for the third most wins in the AL with 12. In the National League, Walker Buehler has 15, Steven Strasburg second best with 13, Madison Bumgarner, David Price, Jack Flaherty, and Jimmy Nelson all tied for third best with 11. Losses leaders in the American League, Sean Manaea and Masahiro Tanaka and Kenta Maeda all have the least amount among pitchers to qualify. They're all at 2. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the least amount among pitchers to qualify. He is at 2. Saves leaders in the American League, Liam Hendricks has the most with 38, Roberto Ozuna has the second most with 36, and Brad Hand third most with 35. In the National League, Kenley Jansen the leader with 39, Craig Kimbrell and Kirby Yates tied with the second most saves. They're both at 38. ERA leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the lowest at a .249, Kenta Maeda second lowest at a .259, and Aaron Savali third lowest at a .269. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the lowest at a .204, Marcus Stroman second lowest at a .230, and Steven Strasburg third lowest at a .249. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda has the lowest amount among pitchers to qualify. He's allowed 9. And in the National League, there are two tied for the top. Marcus Stroman and Carlos Martinez have allowed the least amount among pitchers to qualify. They're both at 9. Shutout leaders in the American League. Masahiro Tanaka has 5. Garrett Cole has 3. Jake Odorizzi and Jose Barrios tied with the third most. There are 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom leads with 5. Zach Wheeler has 3. And Aaron Nola, Sandy Alcantara, Merrill Kelly, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw all tied for third best with 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League. Garrett Cole still the leader with 186. Lucas Giolito 8 behind him with 178. And Jake Odorizzi rounds out the top 3 with 170. In the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 189, and it's a large margin from him to the next best. Clayton Kershaw's at 171, and Chris Archer rounds out the top 3 with 166. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers. Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 5. Garrett Cole has thrown 3. Jake Odorizzi, Jose Barrios, Corey Kluber, and Aaron Savali have each thrown 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has thrown 5. Zach Wheeler has thrown 4. And Aaron Nola has thrown 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League. Hyunjin Ryu has the most with 160 and a third innings pitched. And in the National League, Steven Strasburg has the most with 159 and a third innings pitched. Walks allowed among American League pitchers. Carlos Carrasco and Daniel Norris tied for the least amount of walks allowed among pitchers that qualify. They're both at 30. And in the National League, Brett Anderson has the least amount of walks with 31. Whip leaders in the American League. Jake Odorizzi has the lowest at a 107. Masahiro Tanaka second lowest at a 108. And Sean Manaea third lowest at a 109. And in the National League, Jacob deGrom has the lowest at a 104. Marcus Stroman second lowest at a 108. And Steven Strasburg third lowest at a 109. Pitching war leaders in the American League. Jake Odorizzi is the highest at a 4.3. Masahiro Tanaka is at a 3.9. And Kenta Maeda is at a 3.3. In the National League, Jacob deGrom leads with a 4.1. Walker Buehler second best at a 3.9. And Aaron Nola third best at a 3.7. Batting war leaders in the American League. Yohan Moncada, the leader with a 6.4. Slightly behind him, DJ LeMahieu, who also has a 6.4. And Yasmani Grandal rounds out the top 3 with a 6. And in the National League, Marcus Semien and Ronald Acuna Jr. both have 7 threes. And Nolan Arenado rounds out the top 3 with a 6.9. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Thursday, August the 6th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's virtual network.